All right, and welcome to the final college football dash of sports for the 2021-2022 season. Going to be naming a uh, national championship out of these bowl games. Some of my predictions came true, some of them didn't. I figured that Georgia would be there. I am glad that Cincinnati is in the Final Four. So we've got great matchups coming up. So without further ado, we're going to get into the bowl game predictions. So some tricks in this one this time around. So we already had our winner for the regular season, and that was Chris Price, who won the regular season. He won $100. So congratulations to Chris Price. This time around, clean slate. Everybody gets a shot at it. All of those that were in the normal contest are automatically entered, as well as anybody that did a guest pick. They are authorized to win $100 as well this time around. So tell everybody that guest pick, they get a shot at $100. Also, little incentive. If we can get 50 comments on this video, once it's uploaded, we get 50 comments. One of those people will also receive $50. One of the commenters will receive $50 from this video if we can get 50 comments. So tell your friends, tell everybody, and tell them to say, just give us a comment. Say, great video, good job, congrats, whatever the case may be. Hello, anything like that. So we're going to get on with our picks here real quick. Quite a few bowl games to go through. Again, straight up, no points. Just give us your picks. First game up, we've got UAB versus BYU. University of Alabama, Birmingham at BYU. I'm taking BYU. The next game up, Utah at Oregon State. Utah State versus Oregon State. Utah State versus Oregon State. I am taking Utah State. Next game, Old Dominion versus Tulsa. Old Dominion versus Tulsa. I am taking Tulsa. The next game up, University of Texas at San Antonio. UTSA, go Roadrunners versus San Diego State. I'm taking the Roadrunners. Next game up, Battle of the Floridas, if you will. University of Central Florida versus Florida. University of Central Florida versus Florida. Woo! Florida's played not so great at the end. I'm going to go UCF. I'm going to take UCF over Florida. Next game up, Houston versus Auburn. Houston versus Auburn. I'm going to take Auburn. I know Bo Nix has put his name into the portal. Don't know who's going to start there, but I just have to think that Auburn's probably a little bit better than Houston. Next game up, Air Force versus Louisville. I'm staying true to the blue. I'm going Air Force. Go Air Force. Next game up, UCLA versus NC State. UCLA versus NC State. Man, this is a tough one, but I think I'm going to go NC State. I'm going to take NC State on this one. Next up, Clemson versus Iowa State. Two teams that we thought we might see in the playoffs this year had less than stellar seasons, but still managed to have a great season nonetheless. Clemson versus Iowa State. I'm taking Clemson. I know that there have been some changes. Obviously, Brent Venables now the head coach of Oklahoma, so not there to coach the defense. We'll see how it goes, but I'm still taking Clemson. Next game up, battle of the UOs, or the OUs, if you will. Oregon versus Oklahoma. Is it any wonder who I'm taking? Let's go Sooners. Good job. Let's go. Bob Stoops is coaching. Maybe he gets out. He's 9-9 in bowl games. Maybe this gets him out of the 500. Well, one way or the other, it gets him out of the 500. But let's hope it's in the win column. So I'm taking Oklahoma over Oregon. Next game up, we got North Carolina versus South Carolina. Battle of the Carolinas. North Carolina was one of my picks at the beginning of the year to be one of the better teams. Not so, but they can still salvage their season with a win over South Carolina, and I'm taking North Carolina. Tennessee versus Purdue. Tennessee versus Purdue. I am taking Purdue over Tennessee. Pittsburgh versus Michigan State. Pittsburgh versus Michigan State. That's a tough one. Both had pretty good seasons. Both had some really devastating loss, but Pittsburgh is the winner of the ACC. So I'm gonna give it to Pittsburgh. I think they've got it. Pittsburgh wins over Michigan State. Wake Forest versus Texas A&M. No doubt in my mind, Texas A&M has that one won. Washington State versus Miami. Washington State versus Miami. Man, I don't know. Miami now has Cristobal as their coach. I do not know if he's coaching in the game. I'm gonna take Miami. They end on a good note. Penn State versus Arkansas. Man, this is a good matchup. SEC versus another Big Ten. Tough decision, but I'm gonna go with Penn State. I really don't want to pick against Arkansas, but I think Penn State is the better team. Okie State Cowboys versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Notre Dame is the better team by far. And now that Knowles is gone from Oklahoma State, I don't know if the defense holds as well without him. So, yes, they had a great defense, but I don't think they have enough for Notre Dame. Notre Dame wins this one. Very intriguing matchup here. Utah versus Ohio State. Utah versus Ohio State. Man. I'm going to take Utah. Everything in my body says to take Ohio State, but I'm going with Utah. Baylor versus Ole Miss. Baylor, the Big 12 champs, versus Ole Miss. Man, that's a toss-up. I think I'm going to go with Baylor. Next game up, we got LSU versus Kansas State. LSU versus Kansas State. I don't even. This is just. I don't even know why I picked this bowl. I just try to have enough games in there, but man, Brian Kelly with his fake accent. I don't know. I know he's not. I don't know if he's coaching or not. Kansas State. I'm going to give it to Kansas State for some reason. My gut tells me Kansas State. That's what I'm going with. All right. We've got the top four here. Top four. Cincinnati versus Alabama and Georgia versus Michigan. Cincinnati versus Alabama versus Michigan. Or Georgia versus Michigan. Every part of me wants to take Cincinnati. I've been riding and dying with Cincinnati all year long. I picked them to be one of the best teams, and here they are. Some of you will say I'm crazy. We all know there's probably going to be an Alabama-Georgia matchup. But I'm going with the upset here. I'm taking Cincinnati over Alabama. Cincinnati over Alabama. And Georgia versus Michigan. Georgia versus Michigan. I'm going to take the dogs. I'm going to make it Georgia over Michigan. We're going to have a Cincinnati-Georgia matchup in the championship game. A rematch from last year's bowl game with these two. I just want to see it. I want to see I just want to see this matchup. So, that's all the bowl games. What I need for the tiebreaker. Who do you have in the championship? What two teams do you have in the championship? This is a tiebreaker. Two teams you have in the championship, winner, and score of that game. That is the tiebreaker. Teams, winner, and score of the national championship game. That is the tiebreaker. So I'm curious to what you have. I have Georgia winning it all. Just think it's their year. Yes, they had a stumble in the championship game, but everybody stumbles once in a while. Georgia, my overall winner against Cincinnati. The score will be 38-31 Georgia. 38-31 Georgia. There it is. Like I said, if we can get 50 people to we can get 50 comments for people to comment somebody will win $50. So make sure you tell your friends. Again, good luck. Like I said, thank you for everybody that played throughout the season. We're still going to have more college football stuff going on until, obviously we got lots to talk about off season. There's going to be more coaching changes, more portal stuff. Check with us. We'll be doing lots of college football updates. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching and playing along this year. I'm new to this stuff, so I appreciate each and every one of you. Good luck. Again, the winner of the bowl games will receive $100, but if we can get 50 comments on this video, some lucky winner will get $50. So thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas to you, and whatever you celebrate this holiday season. I wish you all the best, and we will see you after the new year for a dash of sports. This will be the last one for this year. We will get back with you after the new year. Like I said, coaching, player portals, everything. We'll try to keep you up to date. So thank you again, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And Boomer Sooner.